Hello YouTube fans, here again. And I thought I'd do a sequel. Not just any sequel, not talk about films, not talk about this, not talking about my sex life, not talking about having a rematch, but a sequel. And you're probably wondering what the fuck I'm about a sequel. This one is called Goodbye Kirsty out there. Goodbye Kirsty out there. Now I don't mean that in an honourable way. I mean that as my beautiful manager. Today, for people who may or may not know this, it was her last day. She's been a manager for about 7 days from when Bernardo's, the shop, the one that I'm working in, was open. And as you know, she started off as a mogul, and she was the Mrs. Beauty Contest, and she's very intelligent, very pretty in my eyes, probably in a lot of other people's eyes as well. But not just pretty on, as I said before, not just pretty on the outside, but beautiful on the inside as well. So I remember when I first met beautiful Kirsty out there, and that was in 2019. I'm not making weird noises. 2019. And at the time, I was down on my luck. The shop I was working, well, wasn't working on the volunteer, was going downhill. And I bumped into her. And it's a funny story, this. I remember saying this before. I thought she was a volunteer at first. I was thinking, she's pretty. I might ask her if there's any roles for volunteering because that man's going downhill. And she told me, yeah, there will be. And lo and behold, she saw something in me. She saw something in me. She built me up. She learnt me a lot of new skills I never even knew I had. And she learnt me. She had confidence in me. And a number of days after, we worked my way up to becoming a key holder. Then we had the madness. I always like saying that word. We had the madness, the big bad scary COVID. That came along and we had wonderful lockdown, as we know. I fucking hated lockdown. But she was always there. You know what I mean? She always spoke to me on the phone. And she always taught me through the hard times, as I like to say it. We had a few lockdowns, we had the silly face coverings, so let's talk about that, the happy I'll be. But I'm not about the beautiful Kirsty out there, my beautiful manager. Now, last we had a sales assistant, not going to name any names. We got along, she was great, she was wonderful, but she left. And 3 times I went for the job. The first time, unlucky. Second time, unlucky. Third time, hooray, I'm in the bonus. I get the job. And I became Kirsty's sales assistant. And I won't lie, we've had our ups and downs. Sometimes we fall out, sometimes we get along, sometimes we fall out, sometimes we get along. But no matter whether we fall out, no matter whether we get along, I always have respect for the beautiful Kirsty out there. Without the skills she learnt me, without the fact she kicked me up when I was down. As I say, pick me up, not kick me up, didn't kick me, different story. But without her picking me up, I wouldn't be where I am today, job wise. And the added bonus is if things never things never work, with the skills I've got now, I can always go for another job. That's what I am, a sales assistant. And who knows, one day around the road, maybe work my way up as becoming a manager. But I'm happy with doing what I'm doing now. I'm not aiming to be the next manager. The next manager who takes the role, I'm going to be nice to them. I remember saying this. I have to look to you getting to show them the ropes. I say it again. I have to look to that of showing them the ropes, the skills I've learned, and how what makes a profit in the shop, what isn't that good, what isn't selling, what I feel needs improving, and so on. Maybe a bit of noise. It's a bit, as you know today, it's blowing a gale when there's a tam blowing all over the window and getting on my fucking tits. That's a different story. So, you know what I mean? I always have respect for Kirsty, no matter what, whether I have ups and downs or whatever, I will always have respect for her. You know what I mean? Always have respect, always will. It's going to be weird, I'm not going to lie. It's going to be weird because it's been like a number of days since I've worked for Kirsty. I've had as a volunteer, a key holder, and a sales assistant. And you know what I mean? It's going to be weird. It's not going to be the same. It's going to be weird no longer working with her. It's going to be dating for a few days. I get to be the boss. I get to run the shop and so on. But then there'll be a new manager taking over. So I'm not going to lie, it's going to be hard to get used to and not being there. You know what I mean? But hopefully, as the saying goes, it's going to be weird. He's no longer going to be my manager. But hopefully, we'll stay in touch. And, I've lost a manager, but I've made a friend. I made a good friend, and it's like I say, she's beautiful on the inside. She's a stunner. She's got a beautiful figure. She's got a nice personality, and she's also beautiful on the inside. She's kind, and I'm not just talking about me, even though I'm more beautiful than her. Um, she's helped a lot of volunteers out as well. Over the years, she's helped a lot, and I mean a lot of volunteers. There've been people who've had bad moments, and she's helped them out. She's always seen the good in people. You know what I mean? She's always seen the good in people. So no matter what, I'll always respect her for what she's done for me, for what she's done for other volunteers. She's a decent person. She's got a lovely personality. In all fair said and done, she's got an heart of gold. Say that again. She's got an heart of gold. And that's what I love about her. You know what I mean? I've had problems, and out of everybody, I've always opened up to her more than anyone else. I've always opened up more to her than anybody else ever. You know what I mean? I've had personal problems. And we've had our ups and downs. You know what I mean? Sometimes we fall out, sometimes I think about my dog barking. And you know what I mean? So on. But I've always looked up to her. Always have done. And you know what I mean? On the way, being in the shop, I've made a lot of friends. I remember saying that before. I've made loads and loads of friends. You know what I mean? The job to me, it's not just a job. Granted, it's day when it's payday, even though it's gone before the next day, with wonderful bills and so on. But the same time, I always have. I mean, it's not just a job. That repeating myself. Let's put off some noise in the background. Sorry if you heard noise. And but at the same time, it's not just a job, as I meant to say. I enjoy doing what I do. And I always have respect for Kirsty, because I always remember saying to me, the one good thing about me, without getting a big head, is I'm very flexible. And I think that sums up, she's had a lot of respect for me. Because she's seen a lot into me, but it's not just me I'm talking about. She's always had she's always seen something in the volunteers, and she's always been there for the volunteers. She's always looked out for them. She's always been there for them. She's always been a soldier to cry on, and she has a good side about her. A lot of good sides. So I'm being serious now. I'm not having laughs. I'm not having giggles. You know what I mean? And it's like I say, she's beautiful. She's stunning. She's got a beautiful figure. She's got a gorgeous ass. And she's got a beautiful personality. You know what I mean? She has. You could not get the most kindest, genuine, loving person ever. I've always spoke highly of Kirsty. If you're watching now, Kirsty, which I hope you are, if you're watching now, I've always looked up to you. Always will do. I'll always have respect for you, no matter what. If ever anyone speaks ill of you, I will not think twice about offending you. And when you think about it, it's a bit like Beauty and the Beast. A bit like Beauty and the Beast. But if anyone ever calls you Beast again, I'm personally going to kick their fucking ass. She is beautiful. She's gorgeous. She's got the most beautiful personality. You cannot get the most nicest person ever. She'll do anything for anybody. And I'm going to miss her. But hopefully, you know what I mean? It's going to be weird. Hopefully, we'll always be in touch. She'll always be a friend to me. If you ever want a soldier to cry on, if you ever want somebody to talk to, if you ever need anybody, where it's just me to pop over for a cup of coffee, don't hesitate to let me know, beautiful sister. I'll always love you. I'll always have a lot of respect for you. But into them people, that's just me tissing my manager. It's no longer my manager, but that's tissing the beautiful Kirsty's ass. I'll always be there for you no matter what. But for everyone else, be smart, be safe. See you later.